Hello and welcome to the Halo Forge Epidemic. This is Oakley HiDef, and I'm here to bring you the next installment in the series of videos, Infection Guidelines. Now, for this particular video, we're going to be talking about basic room design. Now, there's a bunch of different room designs, and I'm basically going to split it up into different categories based off the number of entrances. Now, each kind of room that I'm going to go over is going to have a different defensive strategy. Something to keep in mind when you're building rooms is sightlines are going to govern balance. So you want to make sure every time you build a room, you check the sightlines, you check that the zombies aren't going to be killed too easily, and you want to make sure it's fair and balanced. And I'm going to be showing you how to do that with some basic designs. As I'm going through all of these, I'm going to assume that we're using sprint for the zombies and they move at matchmaking speed. So let's start getting into this. Now, in this video, I'm going to be going over rooms that have one entrance, two entrances, three entrances. So let's go ahead and start with the one entrance room. One entrance rooms are pretty common. When you build them, you want to make sure that these rooms are not too powerful. Because again, there's only one entrance, there's only one way for everyone to point at. So it's very easy to camp in there, and so you want to prevent camping. The way you're going to do that is by giving the humans relatively short sightlines. So as you can see in this first design, this is a simple hallway design. It's got one entrance, just goes straight to the back, and that's where the humans are going to sit. Now, as you can see, I have grid marks under there. These are going to be held relatively the same throughout my different designs, just so you get a sense of scale for the different rooms. Basically, 3 tiles is supposed to be relatively short. It depends on your game type and how much health the zombies have, how fast they move and stuff like that. So it's relative. But 3 grid lines in this case, you want it to be fairly easy for the zombies to get in. You don't want, usually my standard measurement is an assault rifle. You want the zombie to be able to get just in time to the human with a sprint and stuff with 3 tiles. So a clip should barely be able to kill him, if at that. So what you want to do is for this first design, hallway, it goes straight to the back, one entrance, human sits there and just looks straight out. Obviously, the reason why it's just 3 tiles, the reason why you want it to be relatively short sprint distance is because if one human can hold out there pretty easily, you know 10 humans are. So you want to make sure it's pretty short, not enough room for a lot of people, and the sightlines are just going to get clustered, and that way it's going to be balanced. Now, moving on to the next design, this is the L room. As you can see, it's once again 3 tiles to the back, gives you the same line of sight as the hallway, but this one has a little one alcove to it. And so the reason that's there is because humans can hide in that room. Zombies with the initial first glance won't be able to see where you are. And basically the way this works is if a human is standing at the back, as he would with a hallway, just straight facing the entrance, he can shoot. As the zombie gets closer, he can start moving to the right of that image, giving him more distance, more time to shoot as the zombie charges. He can also use the edge of that room to kind of block a zombie lunge, hide behind it, so it adds a little more versatility to the human. At the same time, if he hides in that alcove, he's not going to have a great sight line on the door, so he's not going to have an increased line of sight. The increased line of sight comes from him retreating and moving back, shooting at the same time. Now we're going to move on to the next one. This one is a T room. Now as you can see, units, it's about 3 tiles over to that central black square, and that's the line of sight blocker. The reason that's there is because, say humans want to hold out at the very front of the map, right in front of the entrance. They have 3 tiles to do so, to defend it. And that's about the same as a hallway. It's not too powerful. Humans can get rushed easily. Now say humans wants to sit in the very back of the alcove. He can't have a great line of sight. If he's, say, at the back alcove at the top tile, he can look at the entrance, and he has a lot of tiles in terms of lines of sight, but that's only at one part of the entrance. So he has to go down to the bottom part of the entrance in order to get a great line of sight on zombies coming through the other side. So this is going to require more teamwork. It can't be a one-man job. It requires more people. Of course, you can use the alcoves on the top and bottom also to have additional humans in there. But again, that line of sight blocker is crucial when you're building this room because it cuts up the line of sight, allows the zombies to rush in and hide behind that potentially. Now, the next one entrance room design is going to be what I call the window room. Now this room The way you're going to want to design it is, as you can see, there's 2 tiles basically to get inside. And so that means a human holding out there is going to be rushed pretty easily. But what makes up for that are the sight lines of the room. As you can see, it has 2 windows. And so when you're in this room, the only way you're going to hold out is by being kind of offensive or more active, I would say, than passive. The other rooms, you kind of sat back, shot out one entrance. In this one, there is one entrance, but if you wait till the zombies are already inside, you're dead. So what you want to do is be posted up by the windows, shoot the zombies, reduce their health, and try and kill them before they even get to you. So that's basically how you want to balance out a room with windows. Now, as we move on, we're going to go into the 2 entrance rooms. Now, for 2 entrances, there's basically 2 categories. Either it's primary and secondary entrance, or it's primary and primary entrances. So I'll go into the details. We're going to go over how to set up a primary entrance and a secondary entrance. Now, the reason you do this is because it's a two entrance room, but that can get a little hard. So what you want to do is make the second door slightly harder for the humans to defend, or slightly harder for the zombies to get in. So what you're going to end up having is one door that's easier for the zombies, one door that's harder for the zombies, and that ends up balancing it out. It changes up the game, and it makes it slightly easier for the humans to hold out, as opposed to just a room that had 2 straight up entrances. So there's 4 main ways to make a primary and secondary entrance. First is barricade. So as you can see in this image here, there's a crate on the left door, and what this effectively does is it reduces your room that has 2 entrances to a 1 entrance room, which makes it easier. But this isn't permanent because that crate can be knocked out. And so that's what's key about this room, is the secondary entrance is initially blocked off, making it easier for the humans obviously, but it can be opened up with the zombies. So that's one way to make a primary and secondary entrance. Moving on, you can do basically a firepower approach. So what you might do is put down a turret facing one of the doors, and that way that door is very hard for zombies to get in, and so they're going to go through the other one. Now what's key about this is, you might think if a turret is too powerful. Some cases it will be, but you can pull it off. Here, that turret is very good at blocking 1 entrance. Once the zombies figure out that the turret is facing that entrance, they'll go through the second one, and they'll just rush through that one. Now what the turret guy might do is rip it off. At that point, the zombies can run through the other entrance. So it's kind of, it's more dynamic in terms of that firepower can only be shifted on one of the entrances. And so you always have a primary and secondary entrance based off whichever way that turret guy is facing. So that's important, it's key, it's good for gameplay, and it adds to team dynamics in terms of sort of coordinating with your humans, who's going to be defending what entrance, where the turret's going to be pointing, etc. Now, moving on, another way to make a secondary entrance is to have something that slows down the zombies. Now, what I mean by this is, as you can see in this image, the left door is open, and on the right, it's those 2 lines indicate that it's a slow path. So what you're going to do there is basically it's going to be some sort of thing that slows down the zombies. An example of that would be a crawl space, because obviously you move faster when you're crouching. As the zombies are crouching, the humans can look, see them, shoot them up before they get in the room. So that's going to be your major and minor entrance. Now, another thing you can do to make a major and minor entrance is going to be by using sight lines. So as you can see in this image, on the left, that's the normal door, that's the primary one right there. On the right is going to be the secondary entrance. The blue denotes where the windows are. Now the windows, you can either make them so you can shoot through them. So in this case, that entrance is easier to guard for the humans because the humans can sit at the windows, shoot at zombies before they get there. What you can also do is make those windows made out of glass or something like that. And so what that does is it makes the windows not as powerful, but it allows humans to get more recon as to what's going on, because that's almost as important. Because if the humans know there's no zombies coming in that direction, then they can focus all their firepower on the left, and so that helps them out. And it's different from what would be if the windows weren't there, because there you're always constantly trying to guess where the zombies are coming, your attention is split, and that's when you get overwhelmed. In this case, you'll have a scout who will tell you when the zombies are coming or not, and if there's no zombies coming, you all focus on the door on the left. So that's one way to do that. Now, so we've gone over the basic ways to make primary and secondary entrances. I'll go over that. Barricade, firepower, slowing the zombies, and sight lines. Now, another way to make a 2-entrance room is going to be by making 2 main doors. And so these designs are usually symmetric and they highlight teamwork. So as you can see in this one, this is the U design. And so with a U room, it's got the 2 entrances, as you can see, 3 tiles of sightline if you're just directly facing the door. And that means it's relatively short distances for the zombies to get in, but once again, there's more room in here so you can fit a lot of humans. More firepower means it's going to be harder for the zombies. Now you want to keep in mind that humans are going to try and find the optimal position in any room. So in this case, with this design, you want to make sure you balance everything out. So as you can see, I'll talk about this a little bit. If the zombie is going to be standing in, if the human's going to be standing in the top right corner of that image, he has pretty good sight lines on the entrance to his side. Looking at the other entrance though, I added a line of sight blocker so he can't shoot at anyone coming through the other entrance. So by moving to the corner, you don't have that great sight line. And what's key about that is if that sight line weren't there, being in the corner would be optimal because then you can shoot everyone and have the greatest sight lines. By blocking it, of course, you add more balance. Now moving on to the next 2 entrance primary room. This is going to be the H room. Now the H room is really nice. I like this. It's basically 2 hallways linked together. And the way this works is it requires a lot of teamwork. So say you're holding out in the top wing. You're in the left. You got great sight lines on the entrance facing you, and that's amazing. Now the thing about this is from that top wing, it's linked to the bottom wing. And so if there's no one supporting you, zombies will rush in and blindside you. So this room requires teamwork. You need people posted in both wings, coordinating, telling when there's a big zombie push, covering each other's backs. So that's a really cool dynamic. And of course, there's lots of other designs for these different rooms. I'm just showing you the basic ones. Now, moving on to a 3 entrance room. 3 entrances is very, very hard for humans to defend, especially as zombie numbers get higher. So what you want to do is temporarily make it so that there are less doors. And the way you do that is the same principle as the primary, secondary entrance. So as you can see in this one, you're going to use a barricade. So again, primary entrance and the other doors are blocked off by barricades. Same principles apply. It's initially easy for the humans to hold out, but as the zombies start bashing their way through the doors, it gets harder. Now, as with 2 entrances, there's also going to be a firepower approach where you can put down a turret. Turret will effectively lock down one door, and then the zombies are reduced to going through 1 or 2 other doors. And now the next one is going to be, once again, slowing down the zombies. So you can have 1 entrance, and the other entrances will be, as I said before, vents, crawl spaces, other things like that, which can come in handy, give a cool look as you have zombies crawling all over the place, might go with your theme. Now, again, another way you can make a secondary entrance is by having the sight lines. Now, sight lines, as I said before, can be for shooting or for recon. So that blue line can either be a window that you shoot through, hit the zombies before they get to you, or it can be recon, so you can tell when the zombies are coming. So that's about it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and recap this. So 1 entrance, you have the hallway, the L room, T room, or the window room. Now, for 2 entrances, you either have a primary and secondary, or you have 2 main doors. 3 entrances, it gets harder, so you want primary and secondary doors. The way you're going to do primary and secondary doors applies to all number of rooms. You either have a barricade, you slow the zombie down, you have firepower, or you play around with the sight lines in terms of giving recon or allowing humans to shoot. So that's about it for a guide, guys. I hope it helps you out. Again, these are general ideas. You can change them around, do whatever you want, but the same principles apply. Sight lines are key. Make sure everything's balanced. And as you're designing your rooms, try and see, if you were a human holding out here, where would you go? If it's too powerful, nerf it. The most fun games are where the humans have to hold out sort of by the skin of their teeth. It's hard for them to hold out. You don't want them to be able to camp, sit back, and relax. You always want them to be on edge, and that makes it better for the zombies as well. So thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed this basic tutorial on the room designs. I will be later showing you guys how I put these in my maps, showing how to maybe build them, how they're actually put into practice. So thanks, guys. This has been Oakley HiDef with the Halo Forge Epidemic, and I am signing out. Thank you.